before we get to contribute, motivation, everything you got, I was just wondering what you thought of Victor's night. 16 of 21 in the second half, just kind of taking over their late.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, the game itself was pretty ugly and struggling, but I think just kind of finding a way and yeah, he obviously came down the stretch and something that we really needed. So I think it's kind of a yeah, I mean, it's an incredible thing to have for our team and for him to be able to just make plays like that. And I feel like yeah, you know, it's like a big step and being able to have those games and be able to like kind of really kind of settle things in. I think his ability to sort of take it slow and then just make plays is uh, you know, really important and just kind of growing in that. And obviously, is what kind of yeah, has allowed us to actually push over the edge there at the end as we were struggling to kind of find a way.
What were your emotions seeing that tribute and the ovation?
Yeah, I think unfortunately, honestly, I was able to play a little bit, so I think the adrenaline had already kicked in. So the ability to you know have too many emotions was a little muted, fortunately. But you know, I obviously appreciated my time here. I have like nothing but positive things to say about the organization and really just all the people in it. So uh, yeah, you know, I'm really grateful. It's a little like bit of a strange day. I think you know, it's kind of being in Boston and staying in a hotel and all that stuff, and realizing like how much time you spent, you know, just uh, you know, on the roads driving to games and you know on the other side of the hallway and stuff in the locker room. So uh, yeah, it's definitely a cool day to have. Obviously, being able to come and like win the game, but I mean, really just yeah, thankful for time here and I'm grateful to God for kind of that place of life that it was for me and my family.
Is it helpful, knowing that team and just being familiar with, the way they play, things like that, being out there late in the game, are you able to identify some things and just kind of, feel comfortable going against some of their actions?
I mean, there's definitely is like a lot more familiarity that's just kind of inherent. Inherent. I mean, also to an extent though, they are playing like a little bit differently and like a little bit of different stuff than what I'm used to. But um, I mean, how much that ultimately helps, I think like a lot of times you can even know exactly what the other team's gonna run, or especially like you know for Boston stuff, like you know what guys are gonna do. But I mean, the ability to just kind of have those strengths and then make the right read and stuff, like to a certain extent, you can just kind of try to stay as sound as you can and try to make the right play. But you know, so it helps somewhat, but at the same time, like it's just guys kind of making plays, and to a certain extent, there's only so much you can kind of do, or how much that knowledge helps you.
How do you think they did on the video?
I did it great. I mean, like, yeah, obviously it's you know pretty celebration heavy, which I think is appropriate. You know, as I obviously had like a lot of I feel like time in my life and career too, having a lot of fun on the court and really honestly just about sharing moments with like the people on the bench and you know, the team and stuff like that. So it was cool. Yeah, moment to have. I appreciate you know the fans and all that they've done and meant, and obviously having like an ovation stuff's pretty cool. And yeah, once again, just kind of grateful for you know that this time in life and place in life. And when I first came here, I don't think that was what I'd expect would be the you know on the backside of it. It was more so yeah, praise God for that and all glory to Him.
Hi, Luke. This is Simone from Ladies Most Connect. Congrats on the win. And how do you like the togetherness of this group and how connected this group is? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a great knack for just kind of whatever it takes to win, and you know, there's not really any individual agendas. I think there's a lot of people just trying to figure out how they can contribute, and I feel like, especially on the defensive side of the ball, rebounding, just kind of answering the call on those things, and I think we just play yeah, very free and unselfish and like together, and I think it's kind of a great thing when you're a team where you know any guy on the team can kind of have their night where they end up being the leading scorer, but or the different guy, the leading rebounder, and you don't really care. Uh, it makes you pretty like dynamic, and um, yeah, we've had a great start to the season, and hopefully we just continue growing into that and continue to like empower each other in our strengths.
What's it been like being around Victor, helping push him in camp, practices, things like that, and just seeing like the level he's reached at this point in his career? Like, what is that like as a teammate?
Yeah, I mean he's obviously got a lot of impressive abilities, and I think you know the responsibility that he carries and he accepts, and you know like honestly is always trying to grow in terms of one just pushing himself and pushing the team and kind of in that leadership perspective, and I think that's pretty impressive for where he's at his age, but also like all the little nuances of the game and in terms of what you know the team needs to rely on him and trying to deliver that every night. I think it's like obviously a big part of growth for any player, and especially someone in like his position. So I mean, I think his like intention and his effort and care and all those things is all there, and he's shown kind of nothing but the ability to like accept the responsibility and be accountable to it and be held accountable by the coaches and stuff. So that's all the kind of right things that you hope for, and I think it sets a great tone for our team. And honestly, it's like every guy on the team who kind of does that in their own way, which I think is something that you need.
Were there any moments in practice or in a game where just the uniqueness of Lundy's talent really stood out that made you go, okay, this is different?
All the time. There's plenty of times like in September and training camp and stuff like that where I mean you see it every night. Like it's what people see is kind of like what the experience on the day to day, and there's always like a couple plays of the game that there's really only one person that can make, and for his ability to kind of make those plays is obviously important for us, but also all the little things that he does to kind of just help our team be successful on both ends is what we have really need him the most for, and those spectacular plays are awesome, but just that kind of play-by-play accountability is great.
How's San Antonio treating you, man? What's unique about that place?
I mean, it's been great, honestly. I think something I'm just really appreciative is like kind of how welcoming it's been for my wife and our kids and stuff like that, and finding a community there, and everyone in the organization's been very helpful, which is awesome. But it's been just a very easy place to adjust to, and I mean, honestly, just the relationships and families we've been able to meet is something I really, I'm grateful for. You didn't kind of know when you first moved there, but kind of praise God for just like setting the right people up in our lives to kind of make the transition as smooth as possible.
All right, thanks, Luke.
Oof.